Greetings, friends. In today's video, we'll be discussing the powerful prophecies of Zechariah and how they refute Christian theological claims about the end times. We'll explore Zechariah 8 verse 23 and 14:16, which highlight the eternal role of the Jewish people and the Torah in the Messianic era. If Christianity is correct, why do these verses show that all nations will seek the Jews for divine guidance and observe Jewish commandments like Sukkot? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, it's a pleasure. If you would like to learn more, check the link in the description below. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future discussions. Let's dive in. Zechariah was a prophet during the early Second Temple period, offering visions of Israel's future and the coming Messianic era. His prophecies often emphasize the ultimate restoration of Israel, the role of the Jewish people in guiding the nations, and the establishment of divine justice. Unlike Christian eschatology, which centers on the idea of a universal church replacing Israel, Zechariah's vision is explicitly Jewish-centric, reaffirming the Torah's eternal relevance and the Jewish people's enduring role in the divine plan. Two of his most striking prophecies, Zechariah 8 verse 23 and 14:16, directly challenge Christian claims about the end times and the supposed fulfillment of the Torah. Zechariah 8 verse 23 states, "Thus says the Lord of hosts, in those days 10 men from every language and nation shall take hold of the cloak of a Jew, saying, Let us go with you, for we have heard that God is with you." This verse paints a clear picture of the future. The nations of the world will not follow their own interpretations of God, nor will they turn to a Christian Messiah for guidance. Instead, they will seek out the Jewish people as the true custodians of divine knowledge. If Christianity were correct in its claim that the Jewish people were spiritually replaced, or that salvation comes exclusively through Jesus, why does Zechariah prophesy the opposite? In the Messianic era, the non-Jews will not be converting Jews to their religion. Rather, they will recognize that true divine wisdom comes through Judaism. Christian theology asserts that Jesus established a new covenant, replacing the Mosaic law. However, Zechariah's prophecy contradicts this by showing that in the ultimate future, God's truth remains with the Jewish people. If Christianity were the final revelation, why would all nations seek out the Jews rather than missionaries spreading the gospel of Jesus? This prophecy fundamentally refutes the idea that Christianity supersedes Judaism. Zechariah 14 verse 16 states, "Then the survivors from all the nations that attacked Jerusalem will go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to celebrate Sukkot." This prophecy highlights that in the Messianic era, all nations will observe Sukkot, directly challenging Christian claims that such commandments were abolished. Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles, commemorates the Israelites' journey through the wilderness, living in temporary shelters under God's protection. It is a joyful time marked by building and dwelling in booths and celebrating the harvest. Many Christians know almost nothing about Sukkot, often viewing it as an Old Testament ritual made obsolete. Yet Zechariah's prophecy shows that Sukkot isn't just a Jewish tradition, it's part of the future for all nations. This observance aligns with Leviticus 23 verse 41, which commands that Sukkot is a chukat olam, a statute forever. The Hebrew word olam means eternal, forever, or for all time, indicating no expiration. If the Torah calls this commandment eternal, the Christian claim that Jesus fulfilled, or nullified, it contradicts the Hebrew Bible. If Sukkot was abolished by Jesus, why would God command it to be reinstated for all nations in the Messianic age? And if Christianity is right in declaring the Old Testament obsolete, why would non-Jews be required to celebrate a festival that commemorates the Israelites' journey through the wilderness, a foundational event of the Hebrew Bible? Zechariah 14 verse 16 confirms that not only will Jews continue keeping the Torah, but even non-Jews will observe it, affirming the Torah's eternal nature. One of the core contradictions in Christian theology is the claim that the Torah was replaced or fulfilled in a way that nullifies its commandments. However, the Hebrew Bible repeatedly states that God's laws are eternal. Psalm 119 verse 160 states, "The sum of your word is truth, and every one of your righteous ordinances is eternal." Deuteronomy 4 verse 2 tells us, "You shall not add anything to what I command you, or take anything away from it, but keep the commandments of the Lord your God that I enjoin upon you." And of course, the verse that commands us to celebrate Sukkot, Leviticus 23 verse 41. "You shall observe it as a festival of the Lord for 7 days in the year. It shall be a law for all time, throughout the ages. You shall observe it in the 7th month." If God explicitly states that his laws are eternal, then Christianity's claim that they were abolished contradicts divine revelation. Zechariah's prophecy proves that Torah observance is not temporary, but part of the divine plan even in the Messianic age. The return of Sukkot as a global observance demonstrates that the Torah remains in effect and that the nations will ultimately recognize its authority. Zechariah's prophecies confirm that the Hebrew Bible remains central to God's plan. The fact that Gentiles will seek Jews for guidance, and that all nations will observe Sukkot, Zechariah 14 verse 16, directly contradicts Christian claims that Jesus ended the Hebrew Bible's authority. These verses affirm the eternal nature of the Hebrew Bible and its commandments. If Christianity were correct, Zechariah's prophecies would make no sense. Instead, they serve as powerful evidence that the Hebrew Bible is unchanging and that its laws remain the foundation of God's covenant with humanity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And check the link in the description for a free resource on this topic. See you next time.